The story of Sergey Mavrodi is a journey from a gifted mathematician to the creator of the largest financial pyramid scheme in Russian history. Below is a detailed account of his biography and activities based on the provided source. Early years and education. Sergey Mavrodi was born in 1955 in Moscow into a family of a master and an engineer economist. At birth, he was diagnosed with a serious bilateral heart defect, and doctors doubted he would live to adulthood. In school, Sergey demonstrated phenomenal abilities in mathematics and physics, winning academic competitions. However, due to an unfortunate mistake during his entrance exams, he failed to enter the prestigious Moscow Institute of Physics and Technology. Instead, he graduated from the Moscow Institute of Electronic Engineering with a degree in artificial intelligence. Despite frequently skipping classes, he passed exams successfully thanks to his extraordinary memory. First steps in business and legal problems. After working for 3 years at a computing center, Mavrodi quit and became involved in pirate publishing, illegally copying and selling videotapes. His income rose to 500 rubles a month, significantly higher than the average salary at the time, but such activity was considered a criminal offense. To avoid charges of parasitism, he formerly worked as a janitor and a night watchman in the Moscow subway system. In 1983, Mavrodi was arrested for the first time after neighbors and police became suspicious of the large amount of electronic equipment in his apartment studio. However, after only 10 days, he was released, allegedly due to a decree from the Central Committee of the Communist Party against excessive persecution of private entrepreneurship. The creation of and marketing genius. In 1989, Sergey, together with his brother Vyacheslav and his wife Olga, registered the cooperative MMM. The name came from the first letters of the founders' surnames. Initially, the company dealt with office equipment supplies. Mavrodi quickly realized the power of aggressive advertising. In 1991, he paid for free rides on the Moscow metro for 1 day, which reportedly cost him around $1 million. He sponsored young filmmakers, including Bakit Kilabeev, who later created the iconic character Lenya Golubkov, not a freeloader, but a partner. At the peak of its popularity, MMM reportedly spent up to 6 billion rubles per month on advertising and printed promotional materials. The financial pyramid of 1994. At the beginning of 1994, MMM began selling shares while promising returns of hundreds and even thousands of %. When legal limits on share issuance were reached, Mavrodi introduced MMM tickets featuring his own portrait. Formally, they were not considered securities, which allowed him to bypass the law. The system operated as a classic Ponzi scheme. Payments to earlier investors came from the money of new participants. The popularity became so massive that even people who did not believe in the system bought MMM tickets in an attempt to protect their savings from hyperinflation. Collapse and the storming of the apartment. In the summer of 1994, authorities began targeting MMM through tax claims against its subsidiary, Invest Consulting. Panic spread quickly, and Mavrodi unilaterally reduced the value of MMM shares by 125 times, promising they would rise again later. On August 4, 1994, special forces stormed Mavrodi's apartment on Komsomolsky Prospect by descending on ropes from the upper floors. He was arrested on charges of tax evasion. There is also a famous legend about 17 KAMAZ trucks filled with cash allegedly removed from MMM offices during the collapse, although no documentary proof has ever confirmed this story. Politics and life in hiding. While being held in pre-trial detention, Mavrodi registered as a candidate for the State Duma and won the election, gaining parliamentary immunity and temporary freedom. However, he never attended a single parliamentary session and lost his mandate a year later for continuing commercial activities. After losing immunity, the investigation resumed and Mavrodi disappeared. He spent 7 years hiding in Moscow, living in rented apartments. During this period, he launched the global internet pyramid scheme Stock Generation, registered in the Dominican Republic as a gambling project. Around 200,000 people were reportedly affected. Prison and new projects. In 2003, Mavrodi was finally arrested again while carrying a fake passport. He was later sentenced to 4.5 years in prison for fraud. While incarcerated, he wrote the book The Son of Lucifer, also known as Prison Diaries. After being released in 2007, he attempted to pursue a literary career, but his property and income were repeatedly seized by bailiffs. In 2011, he announced the launch of MMM2011, followed later by MMM2012, using modern internet technologies and online money transfers. He later launched projects in other countries under the name MMM Global, and even attempted to create his own cryptocurrency called Mavro. The end of the journey. Sergey Mavrodi died on March 26, 2018, from a heart attack at a bus stop. He was buried in a closed coffin using funds collected by former MMM investors, as his brother Vyacheslav reportedly refused to allow him to be buried in the family plot. According to various estimates, around 50 people died by suicide following the collapse of MMM.